Hello everyone, this is Charles F. Gray, Atari Charles, drinking a drink that tastes great, but maybe isn't the best for you. Amazing. So today, folks, we're going to discuss a wonderful topic, and a topic, close to my heart, but just give me a sec. Wow. Anyways, folks, we are going to discuss negotiation. Now, again, this is one of my favorite skills that I've honed over the years, the art of negotiation, and I think that would be a fitting title. And we're going to discuss the techniques that you can use to get a good deal. Maybe even get something for free. You just never know. You just never know. Now, I've used the art of negotiation to get a lower price for items. I've used it for getting a better interest rate for investments. I've used it to get promotions that I wouldn't normally be eligible for. I've used it. And when I use the art of negotiation, I never need to lie. Why? Because I base everything on the truth, and I base everything on what I want and what they are able to give me. So when you negotiate with someone, they may use the terms, I can't or I cannot. And is it that they can't or they won't? Because oftentimes they use this word incorrectly, because they should say, I will not, cannot. So they are able to, but they choose not to. So this is the cement blockade, so to speak, that you need to get past. Now, in years past, when I would negotiate, I would go in hard. I would go in mean. And I would basically be straightforward, like a Klingon. And sometimes I'd get my way, and sometimes I wouldn't. And this was basically a 50-50 shot. You go in hard. You don't go in polite. And you have a 50% chance where you're basically using a form of intimidation in a way, but you're not bullying, but a form of intimidation negotiation tactic where they do it because they don't want to deal with your bullshit, or they don't do it because it doesn't work, right? This technique can work, but it's not the greatest. What you want to do is you want to use the art of politeness. Politeness. Now, Canadians are known to be polite around the world, and it's kind of true and it's kind of not, I guess you can say. But when you go in, you're going to negotiate, whether you're going to negotiate a better interest rate, you're going to negotiate a promotion that you're not normally eligible, you're going to negotiate a better price, you're going to negotiate lots of things. You're going to come in polite. You're going to ask them, hi, how are you? A lot of times negotiators don't do that. They skip the pleasantries and they want to go to the juggler vein like Count Dracula. But that doesn't work. Well, it does about 50% of the time. Now, when the way I negotiate, I'm going to say 90 to 95% of the time, I actually am able to negotiate in my favor and basically get what I want. Can't always get what you want, and that's the 5%. And you may not kind of always get what you want, and that may be another some odd percent, but most of the time you can get what you want. So what you do is you ask them, hi, how are you? You express interest in who they are. If they haven't introduced themselves, you ask their name. You basically create a kind of a repertoire with them. This could be a complete stranger, but you create a repertoire with them. And then you state your case on what you want and the reasons that you want it. I tend to kind of be like a record player where I say the same things over and over again. You don't want to do that. You want to basically state your case. You're saying, yeah, I'm hoping you could do something. So you know the old saying, you can attract more, not that you want flies, but attract more flies with honey than vinegar. Or maybe that's bees, who knows. And that's a very true. You come in with the vinegar, 50% probability of success. You come in with the sweet honey, and hi, how are you? Oh, what's your name? This and that. You're very polite. Oh, how's your day going? And then you basically state your case. Well, I notice you have this promotion, and although I may not normally be eligible for it, I would be interested in getting this promotion. Or whatever the case may be. Or you say, you let them know other times you've been less than satisfied, where then of course they want to make it up to you. So if they like you, they're more likely to want to do things for you. If they think you're an asshole, and that's the problem with that jugular vein approach, they're only accommodating you because they don't want to get in shit from their superiors that they didn't perform good customer service, right? So that's why it's really only a 50-50 shot, right? So what you do is you use all the pleasantries, so on and so forth. You state your case clearly, and hopefully, and you're like, I'd really like you to do something about this, and so on and so forth. And then, I'm really simplifying this. And then, but if you heard me talk, it would sound like music coming out of my vocal cords in my mouth, because it would be so amazing. So what happens is, you try, and then it's like, okay, they're unable to do it. And you can say, well, I understand that you're unable to do, you may not be able to do so, and I understand that, and I appreciate your help, but is there someone else that I can speak to? And no, you're not being a Karen where you're like, I want to speak to the manager, because you're not doing that jugular vein approach. So, and then you speak to, they're unable to do it at this level, so then you go to the next level. And sometimes you got to go 2-3 levels up. And everyone that you speak to, you say, I spoke with the previous agent, so on and so forth. And they're really, trying to be helpful, but, unfortunately they were unable to help me. And, and this is why I'm talking to you. So you don't you don't disrespect or put down the previous person you spoke to. You actually talk them up. Then you have the friendly repertoire. How are you? How are things going? How's your day? If they haven't introduced themselves, which they usually do, what's your name? My name's Charles. Once you have that name kind of exchange, people treat you differently with a name exchange if you're just like they don't know your name, right? So, and you negotiate. But then what you get to a point, and let's say it's like you try, and that 95% chance that you're going to succeed in your negotiation tactics doesn't work. That's when you got to go to the jugular. That's when you got to be, suddenly now you're firm. Now, in all the negotiation tactics, you never want to swear, because once you swear, people will shut down. So you don't swear, but now you become more firm and said, I'd really like to do this, because honestly, I don't think I'm being very well treated by your organization, whatever that may be. It could be a bank, could be a store, it doesn't matter. And, I'm planning to bring my business elsewhere if this isn't remedied. This is where you go to the jugular, but you're not screaming, you're not yelling, you're still very calm, and you're kind of still polite, but you're not as pleasant anymore, and you're firm. And then oftentimes that 5% chance that is left to get your way, you will get. And if you don't get your way on that day, let's say it all fails, you try a different day. Because when you try a different day, you're actually going to be encountering, a lot of the time, totally different people. Yes, they work for the same organization, but totally different people. And then that your art of negotiation can work. And I'm going to say this basically, and this is why they say it, you'll attract more bees with honey than vinegar. And basically, you only use a vinegar technique when you're on your last 5% before failure, basically. And I tell my friends these stories of my negotiations with banking institutions, with stores, with businesses, so on and so forth. And they are amazed. It's like I am telling them that I cast a levitation spell and I levitated, or I meditated like Vampire Kim, and he went to the, another dimension, he went to the dimension of fire, or the plane of fire, and almost got killed by a fire demon. It's like I'm talking magic when I explain these things to people, and they are amazed. And you too can basically learn the art of negotiation. It takes time, it takes patience, and you're going to stumble a little bit along the way, but you know what? You'll be successful. And that's about it. This is Charles F. Gray, aka Atari Charles. Over and out. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and And the Sandman would say, and cheers. See you later. Bye.